Scientists think it is all in the DNA. There's a DNA molecule which is part of every cell of our body and is a very prominent part. It plays a very prominent part in our brain. They say that it is the DNA molecule that's carrying the entire history of our experience from inception, which was billions of years ago. So they themselves now recognize that there is something within ourselves, within our head, that can provide answers to where are we getting this knowledge from. If we were to see that we are born as a little infant, and how long will it take to start walking? If this was the first time, and there was no background at all, to coordinate 257 muscles which are required to walk, would take at least 10 years or 12 years. But the children start walking after a year. Where do they get this knowledge from? The calf is born to a cow, and the calf starts walking from the time of birth. Where did it learn it? How to walk? How do we learn these things? When did we get a chance? If we were here only temporarily for one visit, it would take years and years to learn the things which we come equipped with right at birth. And that is why this business of knowing intuitively, knowing something, is not gathered by the mind. It is built into our self, into our own intuitive self. And that is why if we want to use intuition, we will get a life of certainty. To use intuition, we have to first know what the mind is and keep the intuitive knowledge away from the mind. I once met a friend. He said, I know how to develop my intuition. I said, how do you develop it? He said, I practice it. I said, how do you practice intuition? Because I thought that was just sudden knowledge that comes to you without knowing how it comes. It does not fit in always with your thinking. It's sometimes totally against what you are thinking. And how do you develop it? He says, well, I practice whenever I want to use intuition. I just practice. I said, give me an example how you practice. He said, now, for example, I want to know intuitively whether I want to go to New York or not. So I just look into my mind and say, no, not knowing. I said, what was that for? That is the process of thinking which made you say, I want not to go to New York. Intuition doesn't function like that. Thinking with the mind always occurs in time, even if it's a few seconds of thought. But intuition takes no time whatsoever, not even a nanosecond. It just exists as knowing of something suddenly. And we are full of that knowledge. We have so much of that knowledge built into us that if we tap into it, we would be fully knowledgeable about everything that is possibly can be known by a human being. It's all packed into us, in our soul, in our own true self.